Y'all, it's been a crazy ass, long ass, somewhat weekend. I don't know if I have the energy to do this. What the fuck am I talking about? Like AJ Styles says on his shirt, your boy also never rests. Bang your head to the opening riff. What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub, and welcome to episode 39 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. What's good, y'all? What's poppin' and shit? I'm filming this on Sunday night. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock right now as I'm filming this, which means most of y'all will be seeing this like early Monday morning by the time y'all wake up or whatever. I don't want to make any guarantees because I kind of did that last week. I don't know what happened last week. Last week was all over the place. The show went well. The Stagecoach Bandit special Sunday show with the special start time of 6:30 went really well. We only had a crowd of about 20, but that made it a little bit more of an intimate, more of a MTV Unplugged feel. We got to try out some new shit. What did we get to try out? I'm not going to tell you. Because in order to see that kind of stuff, that's premium stuff. You got to come to the show and pay your monies to come see us do our thing. This ain't no free-for-all here. We talking about the movies and the reviews on here. We ain't going to lay out, you know, exactly what us bandits did during the show. During this show here for you. So that was last Sunday. That went really well. So now you know. After episode 38, after I told you, I'll let you know episode 39, how that shit went. It went really well. Awesome pay-per-view night. And we did end up being able to watch some Stomping Grounds too while we edited. Edited? Were we doing it while we... Yeah, we were watching while we were editing last week. Like I said, this whole last week has been a fucking blur, y'all. But for all good reason. Because going on with the bandit stuff, as I mentioned last week, what happened last night, we had Improvicon, y'all. Yes. What I dubbed as the WrestleMania of Northern Virginia Improv. And that contained, it starred 3 different comedy troupes, improv troupes from the area. You had Calamity Improv, you had the Home Improvements, you had Fools from Manassas, you had Unscripted DC, and you had, last but most certainly not least, us truly, the Stagecoach Bandits. And it was a competition, y'all. So that means there was some placement involved there. Where did the bandits land? We came in 3rd, y'all. We brought home that bronze trophy last evening. Real Rush Golf Clap of the Week. Not just to us either. Because coming in 2nd was the Home Improvements, and coming in 1st was Calamity Improv. And I want to give a shout out to everybody, all their efforts and everything to make this show go off without a hitch. The first ever Improvicon of Northern Virginia, and it was just absolutely awesome. What happened during the show, I ain't going to tell yous, because if you weren't there, too bad. You're gonna have to see if you can find some clips or something on YouTube. You better hope that somebody was you know, taking something with the camera phones or something, because we didn't do no Netflix special shit. We weren't taking no cell phones from people at the door or anything. But the cool thing about Improvicon last night was the fact that the theater that we played at sat, I think it fit about 200 people. It was looking like maybe a quarter of that was gonna show up. We ended up having about 120 heads show up last night, y'all. And not being able to, well, I'm always kind of prepared for any type of situation or whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm playing for a crowd of 2 or if I'm playing for a crowd of 200. It don't matter. But man, to see that many people waiting and to hear that many people waiting for the show to start when we was in gorilla position behind the curtain and everything. Oh man. To put that in perspective, 120 people, that's roughly the average, or excuse me, that's roughly the number of occupants that your average movie theater can hold. Give or take about 5 or 10 here or there maybe. So think about that. You're in a packed movie theater watching something on the screen. But instead of something on the screen, it's something live on stage. And now, flip it around. Instead of watching something up on the screen or up on the stage, it's you up on the screen and up on the stage. But it's live, so it's up on the stage. And it's that many people reacting to what you and your troop and your other and the other troops are all doing. You're there to put on a show. And it was entertaining for us, and it was entertaining for the people that came out, and everybody had a ball. So thank you, everybody who came out to Improvicon last night. Thank you for everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who put it together. We had a blast, and I can't wait coming until this November. The sequel, already announced as of last night. That is one thing that I will clue y'all in from last night. A little bit of information from last night. Improvicon 2, Improvicon 2. It's coming your way. That's right. It's the sequel to last night's competition. It's going to be coming this November. And Calamity hosted it last night. Who's hosting it this November? Who? Us. Come on and raise up. Take a shirt off, which we did last night. Twist it around your head like a helicopter. We did that shit last night too. It was dope as hell. So, like I say every show, your boy's a little wired. And yeah, let's go ahead, get on down to this week's, oh, wait, before as I warmed up for yesterday, I've been using my commentary skills on WWE 2K19, because anybody who has a PS4 knows that you can not only record your gameplay, but you can record your commentary through the mic as you're playing it as well. So I took the opportunity to start providing my own custom commentary for video games, as some of y'all have seen in previous episodes where I've included some clips. I played possibly the best match I've ever played in any fucking wrestling video game ever this weekend. And it was part of my warm-up for last night, because I do that on the mic to warm my brain up the night before, or at least I tried to. It was a match between Asuka and Peyton Royce for the WWF Women's Championship at the Mae Young Mania, Friday Night Mae Young Mania. I would include that whole match on this episode, but the match itself won about 20-21 minutes. I'm not even going to tell you who won. You might have to see that sometime down the line. But it's possibly the greatest match I've ever played, y'all. Yeah, absolutely, hands down. So yeah, that happened too. So now let's go ahead and get on down to the brass tacks of this week's episode 39 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube, because I've been rambling on long enough, and now we need to go ahead and get on down to actual movie business of this episode. So first up on this week's Real Rush ticket, I'm coming with y'all, not live, because this is pre-recorded obviously, but I'm coming with y'all with the latest installment in the Conjuring franchise, Annabelle Comes Home. Now this follows, of course, the doll, Annabelle, and this takes place right after the fucking opening credits of the first Annabelle. So this is like Annabelle like 1.1 or 1.2 or some shit like that. So this happens where Ed and Lorraine Warren, if you remember at the beginning of Annabelle, they take that doll off some lovely ladies' hands because they've been creeping them out in their apartment for the last however long they had it or whatnot. So they take the doll home, and they bless it, and they store it. As we've seen in the previous Annabelle and the Conjuring movies, it's been stored in a container. Around this time, now, it's the Warren's daughter who needs babysitting. And the babysitter and her friend come over. And her friend, you know, classic 80s B-movie horror shit. Yeah, I can't wait to come over here and see, you know, what's going on behind the freaky ass door over here. I heard they got some creepy shit up in here. And then she goes up in it, and all hell breaks loose. And now, are they going to survive the night or whatnot? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm not here to spoil that for you. But what I am here to tell you is this, is that Annabelle Come Home was pretty decent. Of course, it follows, you know, your classic B-movie, like old school horror movie formula. But the scares in it were good without being too jumpy. The humor in it was pretty good without being too cheesy or anything like that. And of course the Warrens are in it, so that means that Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson show up in it for brief moments. It's not completely centered around them. It's more about their daughter and a babysitter and a dumbass friend. And how would I place this in the Conjuring franchise? So I just recently caught up on all the Conjuring movies. Not on all of them, but just so I could so I could go see Annabelle Come Home. The only ones that I had seen before like a week ago were Annabelle Creation, which I saw in the theater during season 1, and The Nun, which we saw in the theater during season 2, and subsequently ended up on my bottom 10 list of last year, I think. Anywho, so where does this fall in the franchise? I would say that, because The Conjuring 1 was pretty good, Annabelle Creation was pretty dope as well. I would have to put this... oh, and we forgot about The Curse of La Llorona. So I would actually put this third in the franchise. So that would be like before Conjuring 2 and before the original Annabelle. But even though I would put La Llorona probably somewhere in the middle there because that shit was pretty dope as well. And of course, The Nun would be at the very end. Annabelle Come Home, just don't bring your ass to this home. But yeah, it's got the scares. If you're a fan of that franchise, you're going to be impressed by this one instead of you won't be disappointed. You'll most certainly be impressed. So I'd say yeah, absolutely. Go get your Midsummer Scare on. Go see Annabelle Come Home. And let me know what you think. That's Annabelle Come Home for you, baby. Moving right along on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, I should say. What do we have next on this episode? Oh, we got, this was my highly anticipated pick of the week here. I'm talking about the new Danny Boyle jukebox musical rom dramedy. Ooh, rom dramedy. I like that. Coined term. Don't fucking steal it. I coined it, or you can use it, but credit your boy J-Dub. Anywho, we talk about yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now I've got this the review to say. Oh, I believe in yesterday. You're very welcome, ladies. You can ask for my number through the DMs later on. Now, yesterday, like I said, this is the new Danny Boyle rom dramedy. And this follows a man in Britain. Name's Jack, played by new to movies, up-and-comer Himesh Patel. He's a struggling singer-songwriter. Can't seem to get his career off the ground. You know, he's playing at pubs and he's playing at like, state fairs and shit like that, and not really taking off anywhere. Using all his original music. Then during a worldwide power outage, when the power comes back on, he seems to be the only man in the world who can remember the Beatles. Or any of their songs for that matter. So, Jack has been presented with an opportunity. He has all these good songs at his fingertips, and nobody else has even heard of these songs, knows who the Beatles are, any of that stuff. So, it's like that old question. If you could go back in time and invent something, knowing what it's all about before it was invented and become the creator of it, would you do it? Is there some type of moral dilemma here presented by this situation? And of course there's a little bit of a moral dilemma there, but I'm not going to give too much away about this film. But this also may cost the lifelong best friendship between Jack and Ellie, played by Lily James. What's up, Miss James? Yesterday. It's funny, it's emotional, and it's oh so good. It's also got Kate McKinnon in it too. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm torn though. I'm torn on whether or not this would be my Real Rush pick of the week because we got one more movie after this, but let's stick with yesterday right now. If you're a fan of Danny Boyle films, you're already going to love this one right off the bat. I love the variety that this man brings to the screen in his films. None of his films are, no two are alike. I love that about that. And this is a great, jump off point for good old Himesh there, and Lily James, she's still going in her career. Like I said, if you're a Beatles fan, you're gonna love this movie. If you're not a Beatles fan, if you're just a music fan altogether, and you need to, you know, widen your horizons, you're gonna love this movie. The audience absolutely love this movie. I do want to point out that we saw yesterday on Thursday night. Usually there aren't too many people in the theater at the 7 o'clock showing for a movie that it didn't seem like, you know, a lot of people were. A lot of people were hearing about it. There was a lot of coverage about the movie, but you didn't hear a lot of people saying, I'm gonna go see Yesterday when it comes out in the theater. Much to my surprise, especially when we go to Hoyt's. Did we go to Hoyt's to see this? We did go to Hoyt's to see this. Yes, we went to Hoyt's to see this on Thursday night. So, excuse me. Usually at Thursday nights at Hoyt's, opening night, especially for a non-blockbuster, the theaters are near empty. It's usually me and maybe at max 10 other people. This was a decently packed house on Thursday night, and the whole audience was very impressed by this movie, as was I. Yesterday, go check it out. Like I said, that's gonna tie. We're gonna go ahead and tie that for a Real Rush pick of the week, because I'm gonna move on to the next movie on the Real Rush ticket for this episode. And as I've already stated, it's time for Real Rush pick of the week, so you know that it's gonna be it's gonna be a hot one up in this motherfucker. I'm talking about new joint, British joint, Wild Rose. I almost said Wild Irish Rose. No, I stopped the drinking many moons ago, but it's still there. Everybody had their Mad Dog days and this shit like that. No, maybe not. Okay, well, now you know a little bit more about the life of J-Dub. He had his Mad Dog era. So that 2020, baby, that shit's a creeper. That shit is a creeper. Just be careful with any drinking and anything, but most certainly that Mad Dog 2020 and the fucking hangovers from that shit too. I mean, if you're gonna drink it, drink the orange flavor. Try to stay away from that grape shit. Anywho, Wild Rose. Wild Rose. Now this stars Jessie Buckley. Her name sounded really familiar leading up to this movie. I could not, for the life of me, remember why. Without Wikipedia and anything, because I didn't want to look into this movie too much. As I stated last episode, aside from the synopsis that was on the Angelica website, I didn't see a trailer or anything for this movie before I went into it. So that way I went into it somewhat with a fresh take on it. A fresh palette, if you will. Jessie Buckley starred in last year's Beast, which came really close to making last year's Real Rush top 11 list. I would probably put it somewhere in the... Now I think about it, I think I said on my Instagram post the other day it would probably land in the top 25 to 30-ish range. I might widen that and say that it would land in the top 20 to 30-ish range. It was a very good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out Beast. But anywho, so Wild Rose. It stars Jessie Buckley as a recently released convict from prison. She's out in Glasgow, England, living with her mom. And her mom, played by Julie Walters, is taking care of her of Rosalind's children. She's been taking care of her children while she's been incarcerated. There is one thing that I need to check out here, because I want to make sure that I got this right and I don't have to like redub this shit later on. So Wild Rose, that takes place. Wild Rose, here we go. This takes place in where? Was it Glasgow, England? Is there a Glasgow, England? Excuse me. Glasgow, Scotland. These people have are in the beginning stages of the Helsinki syndrome, as in Helsinki, Sweden, Finland. So, let's start this one over. Jessie Buckley stars as a recently released convict from prison in Glasgow, Scotland. And all her life she's dreamt of becoming a country music star. She's been enamored with this. She wants to make it to Nashville. Under some unfortunate circumstances, she ended up landing in prison. Now, she gets out of prison. She comes back home to her mother, played by Julie Walters, who's been raising her grandchildren, or Rosalind's children, while she's been away at prison. Now it's up to Rosalind at this time to not only get her life back together, but to pursue her dream of becoming a country music star. And this all comes to fruition when her boss at her new job hears her singing, and she's all like gung-ho about this shit. She starts like fronting Rosalind to become this big star, you know, making them connections, putting up the money and stuff. But there's a little bit of moral dilemmas going on here with Rosalind as well. Are her ways of, you know, getting to her dream 100% on the up and up? Is it going to come down to her dream, or of being a good mother for her kids, who she does not have a good relationship with since she's been away at prison? Which way is it gonna go? Wild Rose, y'all. Oh, great movie. Great movie. Great drama. Couple laugh parts, but very emotional as well. If you're a country fan, you're gonna love this movie. But yeah, Jessie Buckley is most certainly a star to keep on your radar, ladies and gents. For reals. Jessie Buckley is coming up. I said that at Beast last year, and she's coming up. Julie Walters puts on an awesome performance. The music in it is all awesome. All the singing that all the songs that Jessie Buckley, her character sings, all performed by Jessie Buckley. So her star meter just goes up even higher just from that point. Go get you some original shit with this one. Like I said, this ties with yesterday for Real Rush Pick of the Week. Both musical movies. If you can catch them both at the same theater, make it a double feature. Wild Rose is currently playing in limited release. I know that's playing at the Angelica. I'm not sure who else has it, but I do know that the Angelica has both yesterday and Wild Rose. So if you want to go ahead and make that double feature, that's the place to make it happen. Tell them your boy J-Dub sent you. Or just say John, or you know, the black dude that shows up week in, week out, every Friday night or whatever, like clockwork. Don't know who you talk about. The guy with the real rush and the glasses. Boom. So Wild Rose, go check that out. Go check that out now. And that, my friends, is a wrap for episode 39 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Let's see what we got going on here. We have our next Stagecoach Bandit show coming up on Friday, July 19th. We are resuming back on Fridays coming next month, so we have a little bit of a break here. The last couple weeks have just been crazy, absolute madness. So if I seem a little bit subdued as this episode went on, that's because my body's trying to tell me it's time to start resting. So yeah, let's finish this up and we're going to edit this episode. But yes, tickets are already available for our July 19th show, and as always, you can, good Lord, man, my mind is going here. You can always find those as I look up the thing here for you, the website information here. That is Today Junior shit. Tickets are $12 online, $15 at the door. I'm not sure at the time yet, so I will get back to you on that. If you use promo code John online, you can get a discount on your tickets, and of course that is available at stagecoachtc.com/stagecoach-bandits. Once again, that's stagecoachtc.com/stagecoach-bandits. Get your tickets now, because hey, we might have caught a little bit of, a little bit of momentum after last night. The tickets might go faster than they usually go. But anywho, so that's coming up in the next couple weeks. But coming up for you next weekend, July 4th weekend, y'all. Big blockbuster weekend every year. Episode 40. So we hitting another milestone as well, which means that next weekend, next episode, I will have reviewed for you. We're going to have Spider-Man Far From Home. Marvel is back to close out Phase 3. How's it all gonna actually end after the events of Endgame? We gonna find out for you. We also gonna have for you the review for Midsummer. I plan on making this my Thursday movie, which means it'll be my July 4th movie, which means that if the weather holds up out here and it's sunny and I get to come out and watch some fireworks afterwards, it'll be a nice reprieve from whatever the hell it was I just witnessed from the man who gave us last year's Hereditary, and it might also have a certain creepiness to it given the motif of this movie and then coming out to daylight and then waiting for a big old celebration to happen in the sky. So I can't wait for that. And we'll also have the documentary Maiden. That's slated on the Angelica ticket for this coming week as well. So we'll have those 3 movies for you. One of those movies will be Real Rush Season 3, the Season 3's entry number 100! And that'll be 2 weeks before we even get to the halfway point of this season. Yes, so which movie will it be? And which previous season's movies were our previous 100 movies? I'll have those details for you next episode. But until episode 40, as always, if you ever have, or if you have, any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, shit like that, please go ahead and type those on into this YouTube page where you are viewing this episode right here, right now. If you've subscribed to the YouTube or to the Real Rush here on YouTube thus far, thank you for doing so. If you haven't done that yet, what you're waiting on, you want to be the first to know when I drop a new episode, especially if you are not following me on Instagram or have me on Facebook or anything. So that way, this way, hit subscribe right now, so that way you know. That way you know when I drop a new episode. But please, don't just subscribe and don't just watch. But once you watch, tell your peoples. And spread the word of the Real Rush like everybody should be spreading love these days, ladies and gents. And as always, give me my pen. You can follow your boy on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur. And that is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your boy JDub. Thank you once again for tuning in to The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Remember, when you're at the movies, keep the lips shut, keep the cell phones away, turn the smartwatches off for a couple hours, because I guarantee you any conversations between you and the people beside you, or waiting for you on your phone, or even the time, all that shit is going to be waiting for you after the movie's over. Enjoy yourselves at the movies. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend! Peace out!